Well, what do I want to say about this solar arch? I guess this is the original plan that I came up with last year. The reason why I need a solar arch is I want to double up my panels, and right now I had four panels on top of my Bimini, and it kind of rattled around. It wasn't very stable. Every time there was a big windstorm, I kind of worried about it. So I just did some research, looked around, and said, okay, well, I need to get like with a thicker, dedicated frame solar arch. And then I thought, well, there's a couple of other things that I could put on it too, like a spare VHF antenna, radar, that kind of thing, the GPS for the Raymarine products. So I thought, well, I should come up with some kind of concept where I can get an additional four panels and then give myself some mounting locations for some other equipment. And yeah, that's what I kind of came up with. So this design basically has inch and a quarter for the main arch structure, and then it's got 7/8 for the ribs that hold the panels themselves. And I kind of made them like little mini trusses, so they're pretty solid. Um, I'm not sure if I like it on the boat or not. This is the boat sampling. It's a bit of a monstrosity on there, but you know what? It's functional, and I think that's really what's more important to me. So I decided to try to do it myself, weld it myself, and yeah, I learned a lot along the way. Stainless steel is a different animal compared to other steel, that's for sure. I think in the end it's turning out okay, but here's the journey. We're not like frozen cold, but it's like 3 degrees. Life in the boatyard. Basically gonna the outer if you go straight up on the vertical, this is starting to cut in, so my Bimini will be inside the arch. The arch will be coming up right where this bar is, pretty close. So I'm going to be putting a support across like this, a support bracket for the cross piece that's going to be going to hold these panels. And I don't think I'm going to arch them. I'm just going to keep them flat across in the middle and flat here at the back. And then I'll come up with another way to mount these things on it than what I've got here now. 57 is where the bottom of it is. 56 will be close here. That's 56 will still clear the height, so 56 is where I'm going to put it. And then I want to give myself an extra inch, maybe 60. So 56 and 60. And why I want to go that way is because I still want to be able to just reach it easily. So kind of like my head level is right now over this. So my bar will be out straight right here. This will be up maybe about an inch or two on the front. So that'll make a big, that won't make much difference. I can easily reach this for cables, and I just don't want it way up here. So keep it tight. That's the goal. All right. I'm going to get back to the shop now that I've taken some of these measurements. Just going to check inside, see how things are going with my bilge pump. Hey guys, so I'm just getting started on this arch. Actually, I've been working on it a while, but I finally got my plans more or less made. So I'm going to start by making a base, and the reason for that is that I'm going to be cutting the front off and replacing them with the 1.5 inch pipe as opposed to the 1 inch pipe that's there now. So making it a bit thicker, mainly for more strength. And what I want to do is I want to bolt it down so that then as I cut pieces off of it, I'll still have the original pieces bolted in here, so that way my shape and my footing won't change for the railing. And So my first step is to put it on, mount it here on the plate, and then I'm going to start cutting the pulpit in the right spots. So that's my intention. Yeah, so then once I cut them, I'm going to be bending my pipes here with the tube bender to get the shapes that I want, and then I'm going to tack them in kind of like where I want them on the pulpit. So that's why I've got to kind of cut it and make some alterations here. But all right, just got to find more screws. My original intention was to use a hole saw here to cut into the, I guess, the forward leading edge of the pipe. But this was just a disaster because of the strength of the stainless. I just kept killing my bits, as you can see here. You can see my tip of my hole saw just is melted here on the stainless, so I'm going to have to get a diamond bit to cut properly. My bit's not quite aligned. I'm cutting through the other side, but not this side here, so I'm going to have to come with the grinder and just touch this edge. So I put this piece of wood here, kind of just simulating the angle, and then what I did is I measured up to 57 inches, which is going to be above my Bimini. So even though it doesn't look that tall, this is actually up on the railing and not on the deck. So I have the added height of the actual railing down below. So this is actually over my head. So it's not going to be that big actually, which is good. Basically from about here down. So that'll be the front edge of it, and then I'm still debating what to do with the back. Originally I had thought about sliding it just here in the corner, but I do want to figure out a way to not inhibit my seating, like a little seat here in the back. So I'm still just sorting that out in my mind. Because if I put it on the outside, that's almost ideal. I just can't remember exactly the pattern of the shape, but I'm almost positive that this is in the middle, so that might be a bit close. So if I wanted it on the edge over here, then I'm actually going to have to cut the stainless and inject this pipe in the middle of it, essentially. So I would be actually cutting it back here and then just building new pieces kind of going forward, but I can certainly reuse what's there. So that might be actually even easier for me for cutting, because then I could just use the grinder and cut right through there. So yeah, so that would be basically cutting it something like that, right on that bar, and then injecting the 1 inch or the 1.5 inch pipe. That's this is the pipe here that I got, 1.5 inch. And then I've got 7/8 for some of the thin supported pieces. So that's the same size as this one. This is the only piece here that's 1 inch. Because then I could just use the exact same pieces that I have. And I might like this a little bit better out over on the edge. And then that'll give me a weld point too, for reconnecting up making a bit of a seat on the bottom. But I think I'm going to debate that one in my head for another couple days. Anyways, off to work. Got to pay the bills. And I'll carry on with this after work today.